Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Sunny Tarot. Hopefully you guys are doing well over this week. Today our topic is going to be about career options, like what are the good career options or the career that you are going to shine very well at if you choose it now. So I have 6 options. Before that, let me get into telling you that please do subscribe the channel for future readings. I will be uploading from Sunday to Thursdays, and give a thumbs up if you like this reading, and comment down in the comment section if this career resonated with you, and I will put down the timestamps below the comment section for you to check. So the first, we have 6 piles today. So the first pile is this pin, if you could see, and the second pile is this Saturday pin. Is it not focusing? Here we go. And the third pile is the Sunday pin, and the fourth pile is this pin. The pin looks funny though. Okay. And the fifth pile is this Friday pin, and the last pile, number 6, is this sunny pin. So you can select the piles according to the pin or even the pile number, and I do have a few Pictionaries of the jobs, so we will shuffle it for each group to let know on which just disregard the sound guys, sorry for that, for to choose. Okay, let's get into the video. Hello pile number 1, if you picked this cute pin, this is your reading. Let us have a look on what are the qualities that this career option has. So for pile number 1, come to the age, number 36. Milk and honey, number 51. Number 30, TikTok. And why, number 31. So by looking at this card, I could say that it's not going to be a work from home situation. It's going to be somewhere outside the home, first of all. And the job requires a lot of reasoning to do. Maybe it can be a job which makes you think a lot. You are going to reason everything. Reasoning is very much in the forte. You might be work as a teacher, might be, because I'm seeing books involved, and you're having these questions or trying to answer the questions on why. So people might be reasoning you, or you might reasoning something, and it might be also related to numbers, your job, figures or numbers, finance or something like that. And this card also shows me that you're being very vulnerable, and you're out of the comfort zone. So this job that you're doing is not everyone's cup of tea. Maybe everyone is not really relatable to this job. This is not a basic job. Maybe everyone thinks that this job is quite risky to do, and you're this brave heart who has gone for this job or want to go for this job, and it needs a lot of courage to do it. So one thing is, like, you have to do a lot of reasoning and answering, and it's like a very courageous and out of the comfort zone job. And from this milk and honey, I can say that this job is going to be a very prosperous one, and it's going to earn you abundance. It's going to give you the heart fulfillment and happy and joyous, and also by money making you will have a good time also. This might also mean that you're your job might involve cooking for some of you, because there's a lot of people watching. So because even cooking needs measurements to do, and it is not everyone's cup of tea. So it might be cooking, chef, or something like that. And TikTok also tells me that this job, whatever job this is, it's going to be time based, like a shift, or you might be working on a scheduled time. It's not going to be a freelance job, if that makes sense. And you have to always be on your feet. And also, it can also talk about you being very disciplined in your job. I still get the job of teaching somehow, maybe teaching the children. By looking at this, I can feel like maybe a kindergarten or primary school teacher, because they ask a lot of questions too, and it's not everyone's cup of tea. You really need to step out of your comfort zone, and it's like very scheduled. Other than that, I can see maybe chef, or also something related to finance based accountant. And yeah, because this also involves numbers. You have to somehow keep up your time in this job. You can't just simply take your own sweet time. Hmm. So let's have a look for more clues, so I can talk about more on the qualities. Let me get few. So I have a doctor. Okay. I have, yeah, exactly, finance, bank. I have waiter. I have this cashier. Yeah. And also carpenter. That's cool. Let me set up this cute pictures here so that you can also have a look. You know what, I arranged it for you guys. So if you could see, there's like two jobs involved with money. So I was talking about numbers, so that makes sense, because for being as a cashier or even finance or bank related stuff, you need to keep up the time. And also it's like always a TikTok job. And even for the waiter, you have to somehow be very be on your feet. You can't take your own sweet time. And also this why also makes sense, because um, as I said, you have to do this answering and questioning a lot, and the waiter, the finance, and even the cashier is like that. Even doctor, you have to somehow answer the questions of your patient. And for this doctor, it's very particular about the orthopedic, maybe answering people on why they are having a pain in their bone. And also, this is out of the comfort zone. Obviously, not everyone can be a waiter, not everyone can be a orthopedic, and not everyone can be a carpenter. And carpenter also makes sense, because I can see that there's wood involved here, and this one is also a bark of wood. And and milk and honey makes me think of this whole table set up by a carpenter with a beautiful scenery. And even the elephant, I think it's made out of wood. And milk and honey also reminds me of building something out of scratch. It's like homemade, which is exactly how carpenter is done. Like you have to use your hand. I couldn't find any chef but something related to that. The waiter thing came up, pop out. I don't know. And what else. I was really hoping for a chef though, but Yeah, never mind. But still, it makes sense. I think all these four cards really resonate with this five occupations, especially with the finances and the waiter. The carpenter, this card really resonates because milk and honey, as I said, is something homemade. So, making out of hands. I feel like the milk and honey is like, I don't know why, but it reminds me of home. Something you do with hand or something like that, even though it doesn't make sense. I have that feeling. So just take whatever resonates. And one thing is for sure, milk and honey is also showing me that whatever your job is going to be out of this five, I feel like it's going to bring you a lot of abundance and money. You're not going to do it just simply without any prosperity in it, any growth in it. Yeah, maybe the waiter is something that you like to do in part time, and the full time thing is some kind of serious job, like maybe, I don't know, carpenting or something. This stuff can also be your part time, except for the doctor, obviously not. But still, job is a job, so I don't really consider a small job or big job. So do let me know if this resonated with you, and let's see what pile number two says. Hi, pile number two. If you picked this Saturday clip, this is your reading. Let's have a look on what qualities do your job require, or your future job, or the current job. And I will just shuffle five Pictionaries on what might the jobs be. Let's have a look. We have a change in the wind, number 12. We have loyal heart, number 35. We have poised, number 48. And also we have between worlds, number 3. Okay. Hmm. Okay, by looking at this first card, I have a feeling that you might have entered or entering this job without not really a confident heart, or maybe not really fully into it. You are entering it with partial heart or no heart itself. Technically, you're not happy with the job, but this is the initial stages. After that, I can really see a growth, because by looking at this loyal heart, you're going to be loyal. And also, for some of you, you and your partner might do the same job. You guys might be doing the same job together, or somehow you will find your sweetheart in your job. And also, this card also reminds me of um, you being very loyal to your job, or maybe your job requires a lot of loyalty, like police or something like that. Just take whatever resonates, because there's a lot of stuff coming out, so I'm just letting you guys know. And also, this poised makes me think of your this job, whatever job this is. It demands you to be in the public domain a lot more than you think. Yeah, like a police. I don't know why it keeps on coming. And it can also be some kind of representative of a certain sort. And this job also requires you to carry yourself with full of confidence, which means you have to look your best in this job. Dress well, um, make sure you're very presentable in your job, something like that. And this between worlds, again, I feel like you might have entered this job with half heart, and in the middle of dwelling, you somehow fell in love with this whole job or the studies that you're in right now, which will lead to your job in the future. But it's going to be a bright future. So you don't have to worry. You're not going to end up hating your job like the way that you did initially. It's going to turn out well. And also, the between worlds also reminds me of this job is going to be, mm, maybe you might work in a foreign, it might require you to work abroad for some, or maybe somewhere far away from your hometown. And also, for some, I would say that this job also requires you to step out of your comfort zone. More than comfort zone, I feel like you will be working far away mentally, physically. Hmm. So let's get like five jobs so that I can relate the cards with it. Let's see if what pops out. Okay, sorry, I have another two. Can I have another two? Okay, okay, guys, let me arrange this. Okay, we have hairdresser, we have a policeman, as I was saying. We have an soldier, which is also like similar to the police, but not entirely. Oh God. Okay. We have a chef, and also we have hostess. What was I telling you about? Between worlds, the hostess job is spot on. If you see, hostess job is to actually traveling around the world. So the between worlds makes sense, and right now it makes sense a lot because the soldier and also the police officer makes me also think of between worlds as two lives. Like when they are on duty they have a different life, and when they are back home they have completely different life. Because in on duty you have to be stern and you have to look the look the part, look your job. So exactly, like, if you could see this card, this poised card I was talking about, is exactly how this almost at least three of the job requires. For airstress and also uh, the soldier and the police officer, you have to represent the public domain, especially the airstress. It's like something that you you have to really look good. And also for the police and also the soldier, you have to represent the public. For the soldier part you have to represent your country. The chef and the hairstylist, uh I'm not sure, but for this card hairstylist stylist also makes sense because it's giving making people a makeover. So this card also is like making the person look beautiful and making them look so happy and poised and getting a makeover, something like that. So the hairstylist gives the people the look that they want. And just between worlds, okay, a change in the vein. Maybe I feel like you guys were half-hearted when you entered this job, or now thinking about the job, or now studying for the job. But by end of the day you will somehow falling in love with this job sooner or later. So no problem with that. And also, some of you, as I say, loyal. This job needs loyal hearts. Trust me, it does. The customers that come into your shop, hairstylist and also the chef, they are loyal customers. Trust me, they need a loyal heart to come and go. and soldiers and also the police officer, they need to be loyal to their job. They can't betray. And also air stress also is something related to customer service, loyal heart. So now it makes sense. But still, I do have a feeling that for some of you, you might meet your soulmate during your work. That is what I'm feeling. Yeah. Do let me know if this really resonated in the comment section, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you picked this Sunday, this is your reading on your career option. I have 4 cards to have a look on the characteristic of the career, and also I will shuffle 5 Pictionaries on seeing what are the careers. Okay, we have by the book, round and round. Okay, here and now, a leg up. Okay, so by the book, I would say that maybe this is a job where you have to follow the rules strictly. You can't do your own way. It has to be the conventional way. According to the job, you have to follow the certain set of rules. It can also be talking about a job related to law, firm, or yeah, anything related to law, judge, like criminal law, something like that. Or maybe it's just that it demands a lot of rules and regulations to be followed. Or it can also be that you're employing people and you're setting up this certain rules and regulations for them to follow, or you're the employer who works under certain rules, set of rules, if that makes sense. This round and round card is actually about evolving. So I would say that you this job will evolve you into a better person as time goes on. You're going to evolve a lot. You might feel like this job is very mundane, maybe it's a very routine job. um, you go for the job for a fixed time and you come back, but you're thinking, oh my god, every day is the same, why? But actually no, you're evolving in the job, but you just that because of the fixed timing or fixed set of rules, you feel like no, you're the same as the day that you started, but not really. You have grown a lot. Maybe this is something about business too, because by the book and the round and round, I feel like a business person, something like that. Let me know if it resonates. Here and now makes me think like you have to be present for the job. Every time you have to go up and show up. You can't just be like, oh, I can work at home from home. No, it's not like that. You have to be in the job somehow. And also I'm feeling like you're actually contented with this job. You're trying to be in the present mode, exactly like how the card suggests. You're not thinking about how this job is going to bring you or how it brings you to this job or the studies to enter this job, just that you're being here now and you're actually quite enjoying it. Or even if you're not enjoying it, you just feel like you're contented with it. And also I can see that this job makes you focused and focused in that moment. And a leg up makes me think you're actually helping someone. Your job is not a very independent job. Again, I feel like some kind of authority and you're working under, or you're the authority. Your job needs to be dependent on customers or maybe clients, or helping others, advising others, something like that. Okay, let's have a look for clarifiers, like what job can we. By the way, guys, I'm closing my eyes to get this, so if you feel like, okay, two, oh god, I have four, I think. Okay, we have, can you see? Okay, we have engineering. Okay, makes sense. Oh, we have the farming, not farming, actually agriculture, something related to, no, it's something related to botany or something. This is the letterman, postman, painting artist, some sort of artist, and also a chef, or maybe specifically a pastry chef. Everything's falling apart. Oh shit. He... Let me arrange this. Hello guys, I arranged it for you. So yeah, a leg makes sense because your job is interrelated with other people, exactly like the architect and also the postman. You have to somehow um, depend on your clients. How to say, client's recommendation. You can't simply just go with the flow or something like that. And also I could see that by the book, the chef pastry, yeah, you have to play by the book. You have to follow the recipes accordingly, like how the it's in the book. And also the postman, also have this feeling that I have this feeling that you have to follow these instructions on giving away the letters and all. And also even in the architecture, you can't simply build something that you want to do. You have to follow the certain rules and regulations and the way how to build up a building or something. And also even the botany, I feel like each species, plant species, has its own name, and you can't simply grow everything like just simply in your own wish. And also I have a feeling that maybe some of you might be how to say, mm, might be employing other people to work like in your farm or something like that. Even for the artist painter, I have a feeling maybe some of you like into the music, and you guys have a certain group of band under you to follow you. Yeah, that is some I can feel. And round, as I said, this job, this five job, I can feel that especially for the artist and also the chef and the botany, maybe you guys are feeling that every day you're trying your best to become a better person, but better in your job, in your art, but somehow you feel like you're back to the square one. But I feel like not really, you have evolved a lot. If you look back, your cooking has improved a lot, and your artistic talent has improved tremendously if you really trust it. And also this here and now card makes sense right now a lot, because this five job really requires you to be in the present mode. The cooking does is very intricate. You have to be here and now to cook mindfully so that the food doesn't go bad. And even architecting, you have to be here now on designing the stuff. You can't simply just have a blank mind and go and suddenly everything pops out in the printing. No. And also uh, the botany makes sense right now, because here and now you really feel the plant, you really feel the nurturing ability of yours, and create this plant um, gardening with full of love. I don't know how what else botany people do, but sorry if you feel offended that this is my knowledge about it, but I'm just talking on what I really know about. And also the postman also makes sense because you have to be in that situation. You can't simply think about what you're going to do after the work at home. It doesn't make sense. You have to make sure you be in the present to deliver the letters. And also being artist is a very much important thing to do for an artist is to be here and now. But by being in the present only you could really form a masterpiece. Let it be in music or painting, or it can be in any sort of artistic stuff. So do let me know if this really resonated, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you. Bye. Hello, group number 4. If you picked this one, this clip, this is your reading. Let's have a look. 4 qualities that your future career or current career requires. I will shuffle like 4 to 5 Pictionaries to show like what might the profession be. Fork in the road, number 13. We have chaos and conflict, number 33. We have serendipity, number 18. And we also have yin, number 2. Okay. By looking at the yin card, I could say that your job requires you to be very receptive, like in this zen mode. I have two types of group here. First of all, this yin and serendipity reminds me of a job of you being very calm, very composed, very customer friendly. Maybe you're a very serene mood. You know, your job is maybe to calm people, or you yourself have a very calming job. Can be a religious job maybe for some, or also like I don't know, psychologists, like calming people by looking at the serendipity card. Whatever the job is, you're going to be very receptive and sensitive on other people's opinion and choices. And also this chaos and conflicts thinks me of like really an advisor. Maybe you're the person, you're in a job where you have to handle chaos and conflict every day. It's not going to be an easy job to maintain this serendipity and yin. I really feel like some kind of advisor or counselor or something like that. And also you help people to gain clarity and give a sense and hope in their life to move forward. And also for some, you might be a career advisor yourself, giving them the best choices to make, something like that. So let me shuffle up 4 to 5 career choices on to have this card look. What are the careers for group number 4? Okay, we have teaching. That's good. We have pilot. Okay, that was not really accepted. I have a feeling of getting 3. Okay, 4. Okay. By the way, this police and the mailman came in other 2 readings as well, but separately. So let's have a look. I don't know why I have a feeling like only this 4 to take only this 4 careers. So let us discuss with the cards. So yeah, with this fork in the road, as I was saying, I really had a feeling of being a counselor or advisor or career advisor. So being teacher is one. Maybe you're giving a direction to the kids, how to say, a knowledge pathway for them to follow their dreams. But At the same time, not necessarily you have to be a teacher. You can also be a school counselor, or even a career counselor, or it can also be maybe psychological counselor who gives counseling for the students problems, something like that, if it makes sense. And also this chaos and conflicts makes sense for the whole police case, because every day you have to deal with this chaos and conflict, and it can be in any matter of fact. It's going to be full on action. And serendipity and yin. Okay, it makes sense for yin, as you have to be very receptive for the pilot job. You can't just be, you have to think about your passengers a lot. You can't think about yourself. You have this heavy burden on thinking about the passengers. And this serendipity card literally shows flying, so I could say that the pilot makes sense because it's about flying, and you have to make sure you fly with how to say, open heart, something like that. You can't really pressure yourself a lot along the way. And for the mailman, I really don't see anything that resonates with the mailman. I don't know why, but by looking at this card, maybe yes, a bit, because it's like full of directions, and the mailman has to um, take the directions. And by looking at this one, this it reminds me of a mailman too, asking for directions with a pile of letters and asking which path to go, and so that also can be your job. And also, as an extra job, I have this strong feeling that you're some kind of a marriage advisor too, like dealing with this chaos and trying to make them understand which path to choose, and forming serendipity in their life. So some kind of psychological advisor related to that. So do let me know if resonated, and keep watching. Thank you. Hello, group number 5. If you picked this Friday, this is your reading. Let's have a look on the 4 cards that show the qualities of your current or the job that you're going to enter, or your any career option. And I will pull out as many as Pictionaries I can to show what job they might be. We have Deep Knowing, Treasure Island, number 9. We have Chop Wood, number 42. We have Mending, 52. Okay. So by looking at this deep knowing, your job requires you to be very wise and know everything beforehand you go to the job. Maybe teaching or something. You have to know what you're going to do. Like, be well prepared before you go to your job. It can also something related to be lab or something like that, I have a feeling. And this treasure island also makes me think of, it can be something related to marine, first of all, yes. And treasure island also reminds me of you taking care of other people's possession or asset, or dealing with other people's asset. Or it can also talk about you gaining a lot of fortune from this job. And this job would makes me feel like your job needs, yeah, exactly, like this treasure island. It's like it's going to be a long job, like your maybe your retirement age is like too long, but the amount of money you're going to get is high. So it can literally mean you being a carpenter or something related to do with interior designing. But whatever this job is, it requires a lot of patience for you, and also a lot of maturity. Yeah, I can see that. Also, mending makes me think of you being a middle person for something, again trying to keep other people's possession, asset, or even secret, something like that. Maybe some kind of a psychologist or advisor. Or your job is to solve problems. Yeah, I can simply mean like that. So let's have a look on some dictionaries on uh, what job it can be. So we have carpenter. Okay, we have soldier. Again, we have hairstylist. Okay, finance. Again, not necessarily these are the only jobs, but anything related to this quality also might, you know, make sense. Okay, this mending now makes sense, especially for the stylist and also carpenter. You're trying to mend something like hair, styling hair, or styling something. And what did I say about this whole chopwood? The carpenter. Exactly. Some not necessarily carpenting. I feel like this is more inclined to the interior designing stuff, related stuff. Um, and also this deep knowing makes me think of you have to be well prepared for your job. So the soldier, yes, you need a lot of wiseness on preparing for the battle and all. And also this whole treasure island makes me think exactly what did I say? Taking care of other people's asset, the bank, exactly. You're going to take care of other people's asset, or it can also be like you're transporting something. Not necessarily you are soldier. It may be from navy related job, or it can also be like petroleum engineering. I don't know why I have this feeling. Any marine life, or maybe veterinarian too, by looking at this turtle. It can also be related to something on how to say, clothing line. Yeah, exactly, designing clothing or fashion. Yeah, fashion. And this also reminds me of numbers, so maybe your job involves numbers. I also have a feeling maybe religious stuff. Maybe your job needs some kind of religious stuff. That's all I'm getting seriously for this pile. But do give thumbs up if it resonated and subscribe the channel for future readings. Thank you. Hello, pile number 6. This is your reading. If you picked this clip, let's have a look on the qualities that your job have, and also I will pick out the dictionaries like 4 to 5 on what type of job it might be. Just take whatever resonates. We have peace, 23. We have to the sea, 7. We have time for a nap, 24. And we also have building blocks. So by looking at this card, I have a strong feeling maybe you might be an entrepreneur, like making your own career, or it can also mean that you're you're setting up stuff for other people, like building stuff or literally building, or it can also be um, it also can be some kind of a base. You're in the first stage of helping people to do something or grow something. It can also be teaching. Yeah, starting up something for someone, or maybe you can also be some kind of investor. This piece makes me think of your job is a very peaceful job. It's not like a like the previous pile where there was a chaos and conflict card. So your job doesn't require a lot of conflict. It will be a very peaceful job. You don't really have to deal with a lot of crazy people, if that makes sense. To the sea also reminds me of you being very peace and calm. And this job can also be something related to shipment or you going away from your place to this job, or you might be working in overseas, or it can also be some kind of a shipment or navy related, fisherman related job, fisheries maybe, a job that might connect you to nature a lot. Time for a nap. Exactly. You feel this job to be very peaceful for you. That is what I'm getting. And I feel like this job is giving you a lot of comfort and you're really happy with this job. And maybe for some of you, this job might feel like you're working long hours, so you really need a nap. Maybe you're overexhausting yourself, maybe for some, or maybe this job is like very, um, how to say, very invested in only at night routine job. It can be for some. So let's have a look at the Pictionaries and connect them with the card. So we have waiter, we have artist, we have this, we have scientist. I don't know why I have a feeling of picking up a lot today. Let's see what else I can. Oh god. Okay, I have a teacher. Yeah, exactly as how I said, the building blocks. I have a chef, I have an artist, if that makes sense. I have a scientist. That's a good, yeah, makes sense now. I also have a waiter. I have a farmer. Okay. Okay. Okay, time for a nap makes sense for the scientist because you have a lot of thinking stuff to do. So as I said, you're building something for the future, and also you're you feel isolated when you do this job. You don't really connect with the people a lot, and most of the time you might even sleep in the lab. It's like sleeping at your own workplace. And cooking is also makes sense for the peace. It's like you're being at your peaceful state when you cook. You're feeling very calm when you do this job. And what else? And also building blocks also makes sense for the chef, because when you cook you're starting something from scratch. And this painting also, again, artist, you feel very surrounded. Maybe you're painting something nature related, not necessarily painting, it can be any artist, like even writing a book or journalist or something. Not journalist, like a writer. So you need to take the space to write so that you don't have this writer's block. And farming, exactly. Again, this piece, it shows that you like this scenery, looks like you like to harvest, and also you're building something from scratch. You're like planting something, and sometimes you lose your sleep so that you have to water the plantations at night, maybe, yeah. And I'm just trying to connect. Okay, exactly, I was talking about the teaching, so the building blocks is exactly the same. I don't know. And also the waiter. I don't know how come the waiter came up, but I don't really see any connection. But maybe it's just trying to say that you might be in a part time or full time. Or maybe not necessarily waiter, but I feel like you might be aspiring to open a restaurant. Yeah, it can also say about that. So overall, this group, you don't have to It's a very peaceful and calmful. It's like more than it's not a very chaotic job. You're not being the front liner, something like that, if it makes sense. Yeah, do let me know if resonate. Thank you for watching. Bye.